So what was going on? I mean, how did you come to be there? What was it like being there? Obviously, we want to know everything.
It was really strange. I can't believe I got asked to do it. They did season 1 and it was very successful for them. And they wanted other people from the Netflix family to come on board. And she had watched Queer Eye and was really fascinated by what I do on Queer Eye and asked if I would join. I had such a wonderful day. I couldn't believe I was asked, and I felt so honoured to be there. I really did. The production is massive. I've never seen a larger production. And they treated me so beautifully. And she was so kind to me. And I'd never met her before then. And I thought, she might be quite reserved. There's probably a certain way you can and can't be with her. But I was really particular before I went in. I said, I'm myself. I'm a northern boy. I'm from South Yorkshire and I don't know how to be fancy. And so I'm going to say what I want. I'm going to swear. I'm like, be whoever you want. I think that was quite jarring for everyone. There's a lot that got cut out.
And was she shocked by you, or was she amused, or both?
She wasn't shocked. It was surprised that no one talked to her the way I think I was speaking to her. I can't say hey because we're on live TV, but the way I would speak to my gay friends or my girlfriends, that's how I was talking to her. There was no filter. And I think she was just relieved that somebody was treating her like everybody else.
And what were you doing? Were you meant to be cooking, or was she meant to be cooking? What was meant to be happening?
I was meant to be teaching her how to make my mother-in-law's French toast, and then she was going to teach me a craft, which she did. And then in the evening we went to the beach and had a lovely time there. It was a full 2 days of just they treated me beautifully.
I mean, you live in this. Are you still friends with Meghan?
Yeah, we text. We have a sexual relationship.
How is she?
Lovely, really well. Yeah, really well.
Would you ever consider giving her fashion advice or styling her?
Do you know what? She dresses wicked. She doesn't need my advice. She's a really chic dresser. I like the way she dresses a lot. I won't give advice unless somebody asks, but even if she asks, there's nothing I could say. She usually looks fab.
Okay.
So the conversation surrounding Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, continued to spark strong, reaction across television, radio, newspapers, and social media. Few public figures in recent years have generated as much discussion, scrutiny, and debate as Meghan. Whether people admire her or criticize her, there's no denying that she remains one of the most talked about women in the world. In this discussion, attention turns to a striking, television moment in which fashion experts and television personality Tan France passionately defended Meghan while challenging many of the arguments that have been repeatedly used against her. According to the headline, his comment left critics struggle to respond and reportedly stunned broadcaster Vanessa Feltz with his direct and unapologetic honesty. So what made the moment, stand out was not simply that Tan France defended Meghan. Public figures have done that before. The difference was the way he approached the conversation. Rather than relying on emotional argument or celebrity loyalty, he reportedly focused on facts, fairness, and double standards that often emerge whenever Meghan's become the topic of discussion. For years, Meghan has faced a level of media attention that many actually observers believe goes far beyond normal celebrity coverage. So every public appearance, every statement, and every business venture, and even routine family moment that have often been dissected and debated, supporters actually argue that no matter what Meghan does, critics seems determined to find faults. And that is where Tan France's defense reportedly resonated with many viewers. Tan France has built a reputation as someone who speaks candidly and confidently. He's not known for avoiding controversial conversation. When he feels strongly about an issue, during the discussion, he reportedly challenged the narrative that Meghan is somehow and unique, deserving of criticism directed toward her. And according to supporters of Meghan, one of the most frustrating aspects of the public debate is the inconsistency. Actions that are praised when performed by the public figure often become controversial when Meghan does the same thing. And this perception of unequal treatment has been discussed by journalists, academics, commentators, and viewers actually around the world. So, Tan France reportedly highlighted this issue directly. Rather than focusing on gossip or speculation, he appeared to examine how Meghan is frequently judged through a different lens. Many viewers found out refreshing because it's moved the conversation away from sensational headline and towards broader question about fairness, media responsibility, and public perception. As the discussion unfolded, Vanessa Feltz reportedly found herself confronted by arguments that challenged familiar criticism of Meghan. While Vanessa is an experienced broadcaster known for expressing strong opinions, so supporters of Meghan felt that her position appeared increasingly difficult to defend when faced with Tan France's straightforward observation. So one of the recurring criticism aimed at Meghan has been the suggestion that she somehow created controversy simply by existing within royal circle. Yet supporters point out that many of the accusations directed at her have often been based on assumption, interpretation, or narrative rather than concrete evidence. Tan France reportedly, questioned why Meghan continues to attract such intense criticism years after stepping away from royal duties. For many observers, that question strikes at the heart of the entire debate. If Meghan has moved on with her life, built business venture, focused on her family, pursued media projects, and established charitable initiatives, why does criticism remain so relentless? So that question is not easily answered, actually, because supporters argue that Meghan has become a symbol in a larger cultural conversation. For some, she represents independence and resilience. For others, she represents change within institutions that have traditionally resisted it. So regardless of perspective, her presence continues to provoke strong reaction. So Tan France reportedly emphasized that people should judge Meghan based on her actual action rather than narrative created around her. Many viewers agreed. Throughout her public life, Meghan has consistently spoken about issues including mental health, women's empowerment, community support, and social responsibility. While critics may disagree with some of her choices, supporters argue that her work and advocacy deserve recognition. Instead, they say discussion often becomes consumed by personal attack and endless speculation. And that is why Tan France's comment reportedly resonated so strongly. Rather than treating Meghan as a controversial figure first and human being second, he reportedly reminded out there that she deserved the same fairness afforded to others. For critics of Vanessa Feltz's position during the discussion, the problem was not disagreement itself. Healthy debate is important. We know that. The concern was the familiar criticism of Meghan are sometimes repeated without sufficient scrutiny. When those criticisms are challenged with fact or alternative perspective, supporters believe they often appear weaker than initially presented. And actually that dynamic reported became visible during the exchange. As Tan France continued making his point, viewers described his approach as calm but firm. Instead of raising his voice or engaging in personal attack, he reportedly relied on logical argument and clear observation. And actually that style can be particularly effective in public debates. For Meghan supporters, this was a significant moment because it demonstrated that criticism of her is not always accepted without challenging. In recent years, more public figures have openly questioned the treatment Meghan received from sections of the media. Some have argued that coverage frequently crosses the line from legitimate criticism into unfair hostility. So, Tan France reportedly echoed concern that conversations surrounding Meghan often become disappropriate. Supporters argue that every individual deserves to be evaluated fairly. They believe Meghan's accomplishment, charitable work, entrepreneurial projects, and public advocacy are frequently overshadowed by narrative designed to generate controversy, and that frustration has been growing for years. So, when for supporters, his defense carried weight actually because it reflected a broader sentiment beyond royal fandom. So it reflected concern about fairness, it reflected concern about media treatment, and it reflected concern about how public figures are judged. Meanwhile, critics of Vanessa's approach argue that discussion exposed weakness in a long-standing argument against Meghan. They suggested that some criticism have been repeated, so after that, they are accepted as fact without being examined carefully. And actually, for viewers who believe Meghan has been treated unfair, it was a powerful actually moment. And for those who disagreed, it was still a reminder that criticism should always be open to challenge. In the end, the reported exchange highlighted why Meghan remains such a significant figure in public discourse. Years after leaving the royal life, she continued to inspire debate, attract attention, and generate strong opinion. And if the reaction to France's comment is any indication, there are still many people willing to speak up when they believe those opinions have crossed the line from fair criticism into something far less reasonable. Thank you guys. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment.